And what an incredible game last night in Death Valley. Don't you dare give up on those Tigers. We'll show you how LSU made a classic comeback to remember. Unless, of course, you cheer for Auburn.
Live from the French Quarter, this is Eyewitness News Weekends.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday edition of the Eyewitness Morning News. We are talking about fall weather, but we still haven't seen any of it. But we're supposed to get rain today. So Chris Franklin, he is in the forecast center and he's going to have a lot more for us. Chris, what's it going to look like today? Thanks so much. I am looking forward to less humidity. Well, it's the day after Election Day, and we have all of the results from the big races. So first, we're going to talk about the mayoral race. Voters narrowed down the 18 candidates down to 2. So LaToya Cantrell and Desiree Charbonnet will meet in a runoff next month. Cantrell took the lead in the primary, walking away with 39% of the vote. Charbonnet has 30%. Now, whomever wins this runoff election on November 18th will be the city's first female mayor. Carice Jackman starts off our coverage this morning. She spoke with LaToya Cantrell last night as the results came in. Celebrations also took place for former Judge Desiree Charbonnet and her campaign, and she has a big month in front of her. She's going to be facing LaToya Cantrell in the November runoff. Paul Murphy has more with Charbonnet. Thanks, Paul. Well, Judge Michael McNaris was another frontrunner for the New Orleans mayoral race. He did not make it to the runoff, though. He got 19% of the vote. Kristen Pierce has more with him. Thanks, Kristen. That's a wrap of our mayoral coverage. Now we're going to switch gears to the city council at-large races. Helena Moreno will fill the Division 1 seat. She got 66% of the vote, and Moreno beat out Joseph Bowie, who had 28%, and Kenneth Cutno with just 6%. Duke Carter talked with Moreno on her big win. Incumbent Jason Williams will keep his council-at-large Division 2 spot. Williams didn't mess around, getting 73% of the vote. He beat Jason Bird and Jason Coleman. Jade Cunningham has more with him. Taking a look at some of the city council district races from last night. In District A, Joe Garuso was elected in the primary, leading the pack of 6 candidates with 65% of the vote. He has politics in his blood. His grandpa was a police chief and a city councilman. He was also an attorney and a Lakeview civic leader. He'll take over Susan Guidry's spot. In District B, there will be a runoff between former school board member Seth Bloom and Jay Banks. Banks is a civic leader and a longtime political operative. He was actually the chief of staff for 2 past council presidents. They'll meet in a runoff on November 18th. And the closest race of the night was the race for City Council District C. In that district, voters put former councilwoman Kristen Palmer back on the council. She just barely beat the incumbent Nadine Ramsey by 112 votes. Ramsey won the seat in 2014 when Palmer decided not to run for re-election, but Sunday's vote gives Palmer her seat back. And in District D, incumbent Councilman Jared Brissett easily beat his 2 challenges, winning a whopping 80% of the vote. This will be his second term on the council, representing Gentilly and the lakefront areas. And there will be a runoff in District E with the incumbent James Gray facing Cindy Wynn on November 18th. Gray led the field of 5 candidates with 38% of the vote. Wynn was close. She got 26% and will try again in that runoff. And we'll share results for the Orleans Parish Coroner and the Jefferson Parish District 4 race. Plus, Chris is going to have more on the rain heading our way today and the supposed cool front that's hitting us tomorrow. That is such a beautiful shot. Welcome back.
You are welcome.
Yes, that's all you.
That is.
We can thank you for this. I really appreciate it.
So you see that we do have some sunshine outside.
Yeah, but once you walk outside, it's still really, really humid out there.
Humidity slaps you in the face.
But you tell us that that's all going to change tomorrow.
It will change 24 hours by wake-up time tomorrow morning, heading out. It will feel a whole lot nicer.
Now, will you pinky swear me on this one? Whoa.
Yeah.
You know it's serious now.
I do not take pinky swears lightly.
I know. This is exciting.
Let's take a look at what's happening outside right now. Of a World War II museum camera.
All right, thanks so much, Chris. Well, recapping our top news story, LaToya Cantrell and Desiree Charbonnet will meet in a runoff for the New Orleans mayor. Cantrell came away on top, getting most of your votes at 39%. Charbonnet had 30% of the votes. Former Judge Michael McNaris was at a solid third, 19%, and Troy Henry was well behind, getting 5%. Cantrell and Charbonnet told us why they think they ended up on top. Now, the runoff election will take place on November 18th, giving New Orleans their first female mayor. And one of the more bizarre races of this campaign was the coroner's race. The current coroner, Jeffrey Rouse, isn't running this time, but he pulled out of the race late, so his name was still on the ballot. If he would have won, he would have had to resign, and then a special election would have been called, but that didn't happen. Dwight McKenna won with 60% of the vote, and he will be the city's first African-American coroner. Now, some people have criticized McKenna for his federal conviction on tax evasion charges. In Jefferson Parish now, Dominic Impastato beat Danny Martini for the District 4 seat on the Jefferson Parish Council. Impastato took home 57% of the vote, while Martini earned 43%. Jacqueline Quinn has more on that race. And remember, you can always get full election results on our website, wwltv.com, as well as on our mobile app. Well, in non-election news this morning, a broken pipeline spilled as much as 9,000 barrels of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. The Bureau of Safety and Environmental Enforcement says that a remote-controlled submarine found a leak in the Jumper Drive in Mississippi Canyon Block 209. Oil and gas operator LLOG Exploration Offshore says it has shut off the pipe and the leak has stopped. About 7,900 to 9,300 barrels of oil was spilled into the Gulf. The Coast Guard says that it has found 3 areas with a light sheen of oil and is trying to find out where the rest of the oil may have drifted underwater. Now, police are investigating a shooting that happened on the Virginia State University campus. One person was shot last night, putting the school on lockdown. The victim was shot once in the hip. Several fights also broke out after the shooting, and police are trying to search for that gunman right now. Firefighters are gaining ground in their battle against the deadliest wildfires in California's history. 2 of the largest fires are now nearly 50% contained. At least 38 people are dead and 5,700 homes and other buildings destroyed. Chris Martinez has the latest. Welcome back. It's a big weekend here in New Orleans. You got LSU, they won, big game.
Yeah.
And then you have the Saints are playing here against the Lions, which might be a little difficult.
It might be a tough one.
And I've got Matthew Stafford on my fantasy team.
So you're...
So I'm looking for a lot of offense.
Okay.
I don't care if the Lions win. I just want lots of touchdowns.
Okay.
From both Drew Brees and from Matthew Stafford.
But more from Drew than from...
Oh, yeah,
okay.
absolutely. More from Mr. Brees.
That was fair of you.
Yeah,
well, if
exactly.
you're tailgating, scattered showers on the forecast. Not a washout, but a good idea to have a little tent where you can kind of get under cover briefly.
But don't cancel your tailgate.
No, don't cancel tailgate. I think we'll be fine. Look, we've got a lot of sunshine. Ponchos
Do
might be a good idea.
we need the ponchos or not really?
Wait, what?
Do we need the ponchos?
No, you might want to have a poncho with you. Something breathable, though. It's going to be warm and muggy. It's warm and muggy outside, right?
Well, today is our producer Sean's last day, so we just wanted to say thank you so much for dealing with us, Sean, every single morning.
And good luck.
Have a good day. We'll see you back here later.